Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, well, I guess not doctor. Cheyenne Bryant's life is falling apart.
Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this.
And really got famous for questioning celebrities like Nick Cannon and Cam Newton.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active.
While simultaneously using those episodes as sessions and then selling herself as a life coach to everybody else.
My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live.
The only problem is when people started questioning her actual degrees, she started exposing herself by not being able to answer the simplest questions.
For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit.
Now social media is absolutely cooking her, clowning her non-existent credentials while her career is spiraling down the drain.
Will I be at the St. Louis show? And I will not be at the St. Louis show. And the reason why I will not be at the St. Louis show, I don't want to sit next to dishonest people.
But I'm Jew, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. A lot of people were already questioning her credentials, but shit hit the fan when she went on The Breakfast Club to defend herself, which damaged her reputation way more than it helped.
The conversation about your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online. How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm gonna clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit.
That sounds so unprofessional or so undoctorly. I'm not saying if you have a doctorate, you're not a human. But to say, I don't give a fuck and all of that just to address criticism just seems weird and out of character. When all you have to say is, here's my doctorate, you could go right there to read my dissertation or produce any of the several degrees that she says she had. It's really not that difficult. I've been out of school forever. I have like a mini degree upstairs in my safe because I gave my big degree to my grandmother. But it's not that hard to find any of that information. Shit, if I looked hard enough, I would still have my transcripts and emails from when I started working.
I don't give a fuck about it. Now, to my doc squad, my fan base, my folks, you know, my village, it's very simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school.
I could be wrong, but when I graduated again years ago, I was mailed a free physical copy of my transcripts. I paid like $60 to order an extra copy of my transcripts, and I received my transcript in email because I used that to upload the documents when I started working. I don't understand how she would have made it that far in her career or in life without a single copy of her transcripts. And I don't even know what transcripts have to do with a doctorate because that's a completely separate process. I'm just talking about like bachelor's, master's degrees.
Accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Where I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program.
What does that mean she contacted financial aid? How can you contact financial aid for an institution that closed down? There will be no financial aid unless she's talking about who she took out loans through. It's confusing.
And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute. So do you want us to refund you or do you want us not? I said no, because I didn't want to risk the chance of them saying, well, we're going to give you back your money and it wipes out your entire program. Luckily, I had, I do this with all of the schools. I had downloaded from the actual student portal my transcripts at that time. and I was able to get just about all of my transcripts, including up to like dissertation. But everything else, there's just no holding take for any of our records, which I think is completely effed up.
First off, she should be so grateful Charlamagne wasn't there that episode, because he would have been cooking her. But that appearance on The Breakfast Club and all the dog ate my homework rambling she did just opened the online floodgates for people to start clowning her and poking holes in her story. The chain should have been a dead giveaway. Having Dr. Bryant on your chain is a little bit ridiculous. I get if you work hard for something like a doctorate, people are proud of that, but I've never seen a doctor that I've known or anybody with a doctorate with a with a doctor would ever change. Nah, it was this. I actually do remember the criticism popping up about Dr. Bryant with this whole outfit that she wore out to a Jeezy concert, which again, for her to be as critical and judgmental of people, their decisions, their character, how they present themselves online into the world, for her to wear something like this, again, seems out of character for a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And people that work really hard, that really went to school for all those years, that put in the hours to get their degrees, of course, feel a way about a complete fraud, acting like she has a degree that she doesn't, that they actually worked hard for. I have my dissertation in the house. I have my degree on the wall. I remember my committee to this day. Girl, bye. How hard is any of that to produce? She told Shannon Sharp she had 6 degrees. And of course, people started looking into those 6-degree claims. But when she received her honorary from Harvard Christian University, she said she was a doctor 3 times. So did she receive 3 honorary degrees from there? Grateful, humbled, honored. I've officially received my 3rd doctorate degree from Harvard University, spring 2025. Saying you received your 3rd doctorate means you went to school, you took the classes, you did whatever dissertation you needed to do. Again, I don't have my doctorate, I don't know all the doctor spills, but you went through the process to actually receive a doctorate. Not you received an honorary degree from some institution and you can count that toward actually calling yourself a doctor. That ain't how honorary degrees work. Purpose made room for me and I walked through the door. You can now call me Dr. Bryant. That's not how it works. Just like I thought, Cheyenne has been counting honorary degrees for actual legitimate PhD credentials. I assume everyone knew these were gifts, not actual titles. We still don't call people with honorary degrees actual doctors. Facts. And people kept digging. So Cheyenne Bryant trademarked Dr. Bryant back in 2018. She's not Dr. Bryant, but she's Dr. Bryant. Dr. Bryant. It is a registered trademark of the Dr. Bryant sole proprietorship, conducting workshops and seminars in self-development. This is crazy work. United States of America Patent and Trademark Office, Dr. Bryant. So she can legally call herself Dr. Bryant, but she still can't treat people. She can't diagnose people. So she's not a doctor, she's Dr. Bryant. She knew her day would come where people would question her education, so she made sure she can legally still use the phrase Dr. Bryant. Crazy work. Seeing as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant calls her interviews treatment sessions, like I said, the podcast with Cam Newton or Nick Cannon, she calls those treatment sessions and uses those to hook clients. She better produce them credentials when she's arrested for practicing medicine without a license. Clearly, she's trying to find a workaround for any of that. Cheyenne Bryant wanted to be famous, wanted the limelight, wanted to be a celebrity, and she chose that particular route to gain her popularity and pseudo-celebrity status. She thought nobody would ever question it because she knows how to articulate well and has pretty privilege. She was absolutely wrong about that.
And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his, his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
Well,
that's
with the
his.
questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live, for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself, they deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I'll land on this, I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay.
I
And
see
you got to
that
be okay
view
with
it,
that
yeah,
in that
as an
space.
attack,
Yeah.
but I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers,
Yeah.
and I owe it to them
You
in
do.
service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah,
right.
because I earned it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was definitely crazy when she went for that 5, like the host was agreeing with her.
Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
She is going out tragically sad. So you don't have one, got it. I'm a receipts girly. Ain't no way people will be dragging me for a degree I busted my ass for. It would be on my t-shirt or easily accessible. I got a PhD, and right now I could produce at least 4 pieces of evidence to prove it at the drop of a hat. Anyone who has a PhD that can't do that don't really have a PhD. Anybody that has a degree of any form that they went to school for and worked hard for and paid for can do that. I never met a person with a degree who didn't happily provide proof of said degree. Facts, especially not a PhD. And the internet did what the internet does, just coming with non-stop jokes about her.
Okay, I'm gonna explain this one time and one time only, never again. I'm a doctor because I say I am. I break it down for you because I know there's a lot of people in your community that don't quite comprehend that I'm speaking. I am psychologizing a lot of people with my knowledge and my knowledge alone. The reason I don't work within a licensure is because it would require me to diagnose you with bipolar schizophrenia. Do you want bipolar schizophrenia? That's what I thought. I was a part of a doctorology program. I completed the program and then the school burned down, okay? After the school burned down, only 3 transcripts were saved, and I was one of the 3. They were held by the mother of the originator of the school. That person died 2 weeks later, and no one has ever been able to find the transcripts after that.
Is Dr. Wendy Osafo. First name is Dr. and my middle name is Wendy. So it's actually, my first name is Doctor. I don't even really like to talk about my degrees. I can pull all 4 of my dissertations up. She said she needs to stay within the will of God. She needs to stay within the will of the Board of Ethics. Or PDF, I can text it to you. You want me to text it to you?
At the end of the day, there is no way that her brand, which is built off being Dr. Bryant, educated and degreed up from accredited institutes, does not come crashing down after all of this.
So I'm getting a lot of DMs from people asking me, will I be at the St. Louis show? And I will not be at the St. Louis show. And the reason why I will not be at the St. Louis show is because I don't want to do my followers a disservice. So you know all of the controversy going around this young lady right here. And one thing about me, I'm a felon. I was a bad guy, but one thing that I've always been is honest. And I don't want to sit next to dishonest people. And so with that being said, St. Louis, I apologize.
She's not a real doctor, not a real therapist, and not in any position to give anybody real life advice. And it's a huge problem that she calls her podcast appearances therapy sessions, because that's not what they are. They're literally just podcast appearances. There's just no way that she's not negatively impacted or completely has to change her strategy, because after being called out, unable to present any evidence or proof that she's educated, a doctor with degrees, a PhD, anything like that, she is cooked. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting, and thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.